Zapier can save us a lot of time on the daily basis by actually automating repetitive tasks, actually combining applications and allowing them to work together, and even creating content with AI. So in this video, we'll create a AI-powered response system, and this material is a part of my Zapier masterclass. If you want to learn Zapier from start to finish, unlock very powerful and sophisticated automations, I will put the link in the description of this video to my AI community. You can find it, my Zapier masterclass, and other 11 courses or more. So feel free to check it out. Price for now is very low, and with all that being said, let's get into the video. All of us know that responding to some emails can be very time consuming. Fortunately for us, Zapier is great at managing our inbox, sending our content, and creating or even saving. So with all that being said, in this video I will show you how we can create a AI-powered response system. And this automation will be very diversified. We'll be using AI by Zapier, which is an awesome feature, Google Docs, ChatGPT, will be using Notion to save the data, Slack to send kind of our content, and so on and so on. So here this automation will be very useful. And now let me show you what it does. First things first, we trigger the automation whenever we receive any email in our inbox. Then what we do, we use the feature, which is AI by Zapier, to classify our content. So here kind of we decide if we have encountered the refund, support, account issue, or even other different category. So again, we are using AI by Zapier to categorize our email. Then we go over with 4 different paths. So first things first, we've got the refunds. Then we go over and we find a proper document to actually handle this situation, so actually refunds, where we have all of the data necessary for our chatbot to comprehend and to respond to the customer. Then we go over and we use ChatGPT to kind of go over and respond to our customer based on our data. Then we send an email created by the ChatGPT. We save our content inside of the Notion, and at the end we go over and we send Slack channel message to our team. When it comes to the path B, we've got a support. So similarly, we go over, we find a document, and this is very cool because for the specific case and circumstances, we can provide specific document with all of the data so our chatbot know what we do. Afterwards, as we had in the path A, we go over and we ask ChatGPT to create for us an email, so the response for the customer. Then we send this email. We create Notion database item, so we save this data. And lastly, we go over and we format our date and time, and we create task in the Asana. So we are using Formatter to create a deadline. For the path C, we have an account issue. Here, we've got similar steps. So we use Google Docs to find a document. We use ChatGPT to create for us a response. We send our email and a Gmail. And at the end, we create Notion database item. So generally, you can see that some of the steps are repeated in this automation. So we've got actually in almost each path, we've got a Google Docs, ChatGPT, Gmail, Notion. However, here for the path D, we've got other cases. So for this actually circumstances, we would like to only create database item with this exact kind of data, which is different from our usual situation. So this is pretty everything. I hope you understand it. And now let's go over and create our entire automation. Before we get started, remember in the resources of this material, you've got the file that explains everything step by step. So it contains 3 pages, and here again you've got all of the actions, steps, and paths, and so on. After this entire introduction, let's get into the action and set up our trigger. So we've got the Gmail. We can go over, we can pick our Gmail. Here in the trigger event, we can pick new email. We can pick an account. Let's click on continue. Here, let's go over, choose our inbox, click continue. Let's go over, test the step. And right now we should send our email to ourselves to have the record afterwards based on. So I can pick my new record, which is all about the refund. So hello, I recently requested a refund, but I haven't received it yet. I can click continue with selected record. And after that, I can pick AI by Zapier, which is an awesome tool and actually feature that can actually replace our ChatGPT. because what we can do with it, I can click here initialize prompt assistant, and right now I've got all of these options. So overall here what we need to do, we need to create our prompt to specify our case for the chatbot and what we require from it to do. So here I've got the following case. Choose one category that describes the best following email. So I've got refund, support, account issue, and others. Additionally, I can go over and I can provide my email so my chatbot knows about which content we are talking about, so body plain, and that should be enough. However, also here we can name the output, so let's go over with category. We can click continue and now test the step, so see if that works. It should provide for us only the category. This is cool, it worked, and I can say that this feature is kind of very, I can say versatile. Generally we can use it for different circumstances and it works. So here with all of that being said, we can go over there and open our sidebar. And now we've got two steps actually created and set up. So we can go over and we can set our paths by Zapier for the specific case. And this automation will have 4 different paths. So the first one will be for refunds. So here I can go over and I can pick our output from our A by Zapier, provide text contains, and here provide the word which is refund. I can click continue, it works as we can see. Then after our condition we can go over with the Google Docs, where we would like to search for the specific file that contains specific data, actually the database of information from which our chatbot can take actually all of the data. I can find a document. I can click continue. I can select the folder or not. I can provide the document name. For this purpose, I've got the refunds. I can click on continue. I can test the step and see if that worked. Yeah, we've got it. So a document was sent to Google Docs about 0 seconds ago. So it successfully found my document. When it comes to my document, it's very simple. It contains typical situations for the refunds. And from it, chatbot can take all of the information afterwards based on and creating our responses for the customers. So retrieving our data from Google Docs inside of the Zapier is definitely very useful. Moving on, we can go over, we can set up our ChatGPT step. In the action event, we would like to pick conversation. We can connect our account. We can click continue. Here we can provide user message, which is for this case our email from the Gmail, and also our file from Google Docs. So we here pick file exists but not shown. So there we provide kind of our body plane from the email and the file. So all of the necessary data, and in the assistant instructions we can type the following kind of sentence. Based on the email and knowledge related to handle problems, create for me perfect email message for my customer, don't provide subject, and at the end only introduce us as a customer service team. We can click continue, test the step, and see if we like the form of the response. So we can see definitely it works. So we've got the reply, hello Christian, customer service team, yeah, everything is at the point. The next step is to go over and choose our Gmail step, pick action event, send email, we can click continue, we can choose to, which is from email, so from our email, we can pick our subject and body. So with the subject, we can simply provide the following sentence for the response, and let's go over with the title of our email. So subject, and in the body, let's go over with the reply. I can click continue. I can test the step. Let's go over with that. Yeah, send. Then we use Notion. which is an amazing application for serving data. So I can choose Notion and here create database item. So generally I would like to save all of this data actually about our email and our content. So right here, let's go over, pick our account. Moving on, I can click on the continue, choose our database. And for this purpose, I created email database. So it's very simple. It contains the title, description, sender email, receive date, and type. Because we've got different types, so refund, support, account, issue. If you have never used Notion before, to create our database, it's very simple. You need to set up your account, and here you can just create a page. Generally, I need to say that creating databases for our automations inside of the Zapier is very simple and kind of very fast. Because if you would like to create any database, you can go over simply, you can add a page, you can go over here to the free space, type / database in line, and here just you can provide, for example, subject. You can click on this plus, you can add category, so for example, select option. You can add some options, so for example, refunds. You can go over, you can add the text, and afterwards you can use it for any automations inside of the Zapier. And again, Notion is a great place to save our data. Back to our automation, we can fulfill our variables. So the title of the email, which is our subject. Then we go over, we provide our sender email. So let's go over with actually our email, our description. So body plain, our type. For this purpose, we would like to go over with the custom value because we want to take our output from our AI by Zapier. We would like to include data fields. So here we want to pick actually our date of our email, and we can click on continue. We can test our step, and at the end of this path we would like to send our Slack channel message. So Slack, we can choose an event, which is send channel message. We can click continue. We can pick our channel and provide our message. So simply I have the following data, so new refund request appeared, I've got a title, I've got description, and here please ensure if proper help is provided. I can click continue, that's the step, and this is pretty everything for the path A. Let's go ahead with the path B. So here again, let's go over and provide our condition, so pick our output. Here text contains, and now path B will be for support. So we can check it. Yeah, it works. Then, kind of in the path B, we've got similar steps as we had in the path A. So to save a lot of time, we can click on copy. We can paste to replace. Again, copy. We can here paste to replace or even paste below. Again, copy, paste below. Copy, paste below. So you can see if you are setting very complicated automations, much more complex, where some steps are repeated, actually you can do these little tricks to save your time. And now kind of we need to customize it. So here I've got a document name, which is support. I can check if that works. So I can test our step. Yeah, that's cool. In the conversation, I can go over, I can provide my document. So here, my file. Let's check assistant instructions. Yeah, it's cool. Let's test it. So for sure it works. There, I can change some data here. So in the body, provide my reply from the ChatGPT, because we need to pay attention that we can't choose, for example, kind of the body from the path A because it doesn't exist kind of in the path B. So here we can only choose kind of all of these steps from the path B and here from the beginning of our automation. So yeah, it's very important to remember that if you copy some step from other path, you won't be able to, for example, use the data from this path specific. This is very crucial because if you know it, you avoid a lot of different problems. It happens a lot, I can say. For this case, I can skip my test. I can go over with my Notion step. Here, everything is fine. I can click continue. And for the path B, I would like to go over and also create kind of the task in the Asana. So first of all, I would like to use formatter to format my date and time, to create my deadline. So I can choose a transform option, which is add and subtract. And to the date of our email, so this date, I would like to add 2 days. I can go over, I can pick my format, which I really like, which is month, day, year, and very clear hour. I can click continue, I can test my step, and for sure it works. Now it's the time for our Asana step. So create task in the Asana, so action event, create task. I can choose my account, click continue, choose my workspace. Here the project, so it will be work. Moving on, I can choose my deadline. So from the formatter, I can choose my output. Then I can choose the name. So here the subject, description. So let's go over with body plane. And here assignee, so let's go over, choose our assignee, click continue, skip test for now. So it's fully set up. Then we can go over and we can provide path C, which is for the account issues. So here our output, choose condition, and here provide a sentence account issue. Then similarly, I can do the stuff as for the path B. So do the simple trick. So copy and paste. Here, copy again, paste below. So save a lot of time. Yeah, I can do this because here in the path C, I have only these steps. So now let me go over simply and provide my proper data. So account issue. Let's check if this step works. So yeah, we've got it. Conversation with the assistant, so provide my file. Continue, skip tests. Here in the email, change the body. So here, and right there, check if everything is fine. Yeah, for sure. We can skip here the test, also here. And the last path is for others. So other cases that are not related to these kind of cases. So here I can go over, provide the output, text contains, and provide others. Continue. And for this particular case, we would like to only save the data inside the Notion for future preview, because we would like to collect all of the emails that are not related. So these categories, so afterwards we can manipulate, we can see which emails that are not related to our circumstances we are receiving. For this case, I can create database item. I can click continue. I can choose my database, which is other emails. So kind of I created specific database for this case. It's at the same page as we had emails database. So here we've got other emails, another database where we have the subject, email body, sender email, and send date. So simply I can choose my subject, email body, so just basic information. So body plain, sender email. Let's go over with the email. Here I would like to include my date. So let's go over, provide our date of an email. And with all that being said, we created our automation from start to finish. And this entire project is very useful, very nice, because it's very versatile. We are using here a lot of different features. AI by Zapier, which is kind of new. Google Docs, ChatGPT, Notion, Formatter by Zapier. So definitely it is very worth to create, to even test out how you can actually manage your inbox, create very nice solutions. With all that being said, let's go over and let's publish our automation. To see if our automation works, I've got the following email. I'm currently logged out from my account due to unsuccessful login attempts. Is there any way to unlock it sooner? I can go over, I can send it. When I go over to my Zapier homepage, I click on the Zap history. I can notice it worked. So we've got a success, we can click on that and preview what happened. So here it successfully chose my proper path, so account issue. It found our document, this is very important. Then based on that, it created for us a response. So here I can go over and see. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Then it sent our email. And at the end, it created a database item inside of the Notion. So when I go over to Notion, I can see my data is fulfilled here. So I've got a title, description of an email, sender email, type, and kind of received date. In our inbox is the response from our ChatGPT. And what is very cool, it actually adhered to our data inside of the file. So now let me show you that. In Google Docs, we've got our instructions, what chatbot should say and what should do. And definitely it adhered to it. It actually kind of took this data into account. And afterwards, it created for us perfect response. So that's why it's very, very useful. Because remember, in the Google Docs, we can provide endless kind of documents. Similarly, as we have when we have our custom GPTs. Here we can provide a lot of data, and afterwards our chatbot can base on it, again can take it into consideration, can use it, and definitely it is very useful and we've got wide possibilities with that. Because imagine that, for instance, here we could provide, for example, 300 pages, 200 pages, or any other kind of amount of the data we want. We can connect it with our AI and use it for our advantage.